Again now. Alright, greetings and salutations again, everyone. We are going to be doing some map building here, some world building, because I need to make some maps. So, we're going to start here. I need to make an island. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to click on the paintbrush here, and we are going to erase our landmass.
Okay.
Erase the landmass. Make the size of this thing huge. And then,
you were using the eraser tool.
Water. I want to add water.
Come on, Emily.
We're going to
Move out of the way.
let's see, water hue.
Come on.
First things first is we want to. Alright. Coastline, the freshwater outline, color gradient. I want the color gradient to go like this. Into here. And change my freshwater outline color to a nice rocky gray. Let's see what that looks like, okay? And then the freshwater color, I'm going to do this. And do that, and then I'm going to bring the freshwater color up just a little bit there. And the landmass we want to be a little darker on this side. Bring it down to a more yellowish feel to it. And the coastline, we're going to give it a little bit more color here for this, like so. And we want the gradient over here to just be right about there. And then we want to brush and the roughness. Oh, this won't work because we have to do the theme. Okay, so there's the water. Alright, now we go to land. That's better. Personal effects and vigilant strength. Maybe a little darker. And then we want the irregular blend, and then we want to paint the ground in a nice sand color here. And we need to, there we go. So, get all that going. Now, first thing we do is we click save. And it's saved it, and we're going to call it Living Unchained Main Map. Version 1. Save. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go here, we're going to go up here to the web, and we're going to go to S3S. Topographical maps. And select topic. Seabeds, Shawnee River. Planetary science. Messenger Global Data Digital Elevation Model, which should be, hey, we're going to grab us a map. Hey, everybody. We are busy. I'm going to take a look at this, see if this suits my purpose for the island for Oblivion Unchained. Oh, that looks pretty good. Once it finishes rendering, of course. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a template for Wonderdraft. Not much. We're busy waiting on the computer to catch up to us because there's a lot of data. There's a lot of data here for it to crunch. That and the minions are using a lot of streaming or a lot of power here today too. Go here, here to Oblivion Unchained. We're going to make a new folder called Maps. I always do that, Maps. And then we're going to open Maps up and we're going to make a new folder in here and put map data. And then inside the map data, we're going to save this as it finally finishes. So I'm going to close this out. Yep, we're going to close 3 tabs. We're going to go back into Wonderdraft. We'll go down here to Overlay. We're going to pick up our overlay. We're going to select a trace image, which will always put some of my picks for some reason. Campaigns, Oblivion Unchained, Maps, and Map Data. Okay, and then we're going to scale this up. Yep. We're going to scale this up here, like so, to give us a good look. I don't know, I really want to turn it, like so. I think. I'm going to turn it a little bit like this. We'll bring up the opacity to see what it looks like here. Yeah, don't use additive. I don't like the additive version of this. Bring this down. Let's scale it down some more, like so. Let's rotate it a little bit here. So I get it a good. Hey, Aramel, how you doing? Bring it into view a little bit better here. And then we're going to use this as a template to draw on with our land tool here. And what I like to do is I like to zoom in really good. Take this down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do that. Need to change the transparency some more. Bring on the opacity like this. There we go. That's better. Right, we see what we're doing here. And then we this is a little more, a little smaller. Now, first off, we're just going to get a basic kind of outline here, what I want. Then I'll show you how I do the rest of this. The way to make it look nice. But first we're just going to grab this outline here. We can fill all this stuff in here in a little bit. Make all the changes we want to it. I always like using this because it gives you a good like USGS maps are awesome. Bring it down like this. But because it takes up the whole space, we want to make sure that the island looks proper when it sits in the water. So let's see, let's bring this down like this and make it look curved. No, let's not do that like that. Let's bring this last one. I want to bring this back out like this. And bring this along the outside edge here. And then we'll bring this edge back around like so. And bring this back through here. There we go, that's good. Like a little bay there. Bring this out like this. And from the corner here. Like I said, this is just a generic outline of what I'm going to make it look like. Bring this in, flip it around like this. Bring it back out here. There's some more water out that way, so we'll bring it back out here. Bring it around the corner. Come back here. Swing out like this. There we go. Now, that's the rough shape of our thing. You know, once because we were zoomed in, we wanted to get a good look at it here, and then we're going to go ahead and add a little extra. Oh, no, not there. We want to bring this edge back out this way, and back down around the corner here. Okay, that's good. And then what we do is we go over here and we use the landmass raise tool to do the edge here. Let's go to, now I like using the space, the ones from the Mars or Mercury rovers and stuff like that, because if you notice, you get all these nice little pieces in it. So what we're going to do is, all I do is I use the raise tool. I'm just going to shade in these bigger pieces here. And the longer you hold in, the bigger you make it, the more it raises it. I want it to come way up, like so. Give this a good raise here. Because if you do it like this, it makes your mountain ranges look much more natural when you do it like this. Just raising it and kind of waving this around. Because, again, we can go back and put stuff back in. I'm going to raise the roughness here a little bit. And then all you have to do to check to see what it looks like is to go in here and turn down the opacity a little bit. See? Much better. Bring this back to where it was, like so. And go back to land. And just keep raising this up a little bit here. Because all we're doing right now is making small adjustments to the way we want the node to look. What is it? height is something that's really rough to work with, and if you don't do it just right, it can make your map look a little wonky, which is why I like doing it like this. I said I don't need to fill all of it in right now, again, because we're going to go back and land shape some more. This is just a rough sketch for where we want stuff to be. You know, filling the edges here a little bit. Make sure you make it really rough. Make the roughness as high as you can, because if you don't, so here's the difference. So you go to the overlay, we'll go here. See how it's really craggy? Now, of course, we're going to make all of this look the same, but my goal here is to find the right pieces that I want. I'll raise this up over here. You notice I'm doing this in the water because it saves you from having to build a lot of water later. A lot of times people will start with the land and try to add water. I prefer to start with a water map and then add the land the way I want it. So now if we do this like so, keep this in here like this. If we run along the edge now, what it'll do is it adds that roughness to it, make it look like real land mass. Plus it starts to fill in some of these little gaps that we have. Go through here. Maybe enough of that over here. Yeah, okay. And I have a tendency to just kind of doodle around a lot, go with what I feel is the way I want it to look. Get a good general line for it. And this way, you can, because you can touch all this up later. This is just so I can get a good feel for the landmarks, how I want my big sections to look. Plus the coastline is not hard to do. You do it right, see? You just take around the edge there and it takes away all those. It takes away that drawn line, that's nice solid line that you have there, and adds this really nice rough edge because, well, that's how land really looks. You just start doing it like this, start filling it in a little bit, just kind of run it back and forth. It's not really hard. Like, people are like, oh, you make great maps. And I'm like, I just doodle until I get something that looks right. This program makes it super easy. I cannot say enough about Wonderdraft and its companion Dungeon Draft, both made by Toxic Pangolin and Megasploot. So if you get a chance, if you like making good maps for whatever game you're going to play, because this will make any kind of map. This is not just like for D&D or something like that. This is an excellent map tool. I believe it's better than Incarnate myself personally. That's just a personal preference. I like this is something that you can do quickly and easily. Like I said, you just kind of dork around with it a little bit. Follow these lines out a little bit more here. Take out some of that line look here. Make this the edge. We can just fill all this in. And just make the brush bigger. Just going to fill all this in like this. Come back down here. And kind of put her in a little bit here. Just make this coastline look like it's a good coastline. There we go. And then we can go back to our overlay, and you can always check your work. Nope. I don't want to do that. I want opacity. I'll move this here. And zoom out here. So that's what our island's going to look like. The outline. And then we're going to go back in here and like I said, we're going to go back with the land tool. I always use the raise. And then here we can just make it big, and then we just kind of fill this in. This takes a little bit to fill it all in like this. And what you can do is you can just take the landmass brush here. Once you've got the outline, and just kind of jerk it around, like this, and get in there, fill in all of this, like so. A big circle. And we'll take this down some, and we'll do these edges here real quick. Right now I'm just using the generic. Oh, I didn't want to do that. See? Then we can go here and fix that I messed up, because I don't want that closed off. So we'll just go here to water, go to water tool, and we'll just add some water. And it just fills it in with water. Fills in a coastline like that. Come back over to the land. Grab our land tool again. Fill in all this stuff here. Let's make this a little smaller so we can get in there and zoom in. I love this. I love the multiple zoom angles and stuff. I think that's fine here. Not, yeah, that'll be fine. Let's see here. Go to the raise tool again. And just add a little. This looked a little too rounded to me. Now, of course, we can go in and adjust it with the brush here. This, fill this in. Put it in these remaining spots here. The other thing is with the terrain, when you raise terrain, raise the landmass, it makes it harder to put water down. So a lot of times when you're looking at those mountain ranges, you're like, I don't want to screw that up. We can fix it by just raising it a good amount. Let's see, we wanted all of this to be land in here. There. Yeah, so we can do swamps and stuff like that with different tools, so I don't worry about any of that. Just basically trying to make sure that what we have is what we need. So right now it looks like we got a good landmass here. So we're going to go to the overlay, we're going to hit this, and we're going to shrink it out of the way. Then we go back up here to land. Do a landmass brush here. We'll raise it up quite a bit. And kind of just brush these sections up a little bit here, like this. Got these little wonky spots here. And for this, for the interior stuff, you want it to be smooth, so it smooths it out real good. So it just fills in the holes. Sometimes you gotta be careful because this the color that I'm using right now tends you to believe that some of these are actually spots when they're not. They're actually part of the paper look to it. So you have to be careful about that. All right. We need to shrink this down some. This needs some more. This does not look natural here. Take the reference all the way back up here. And we can erase the landmass here by doing this. This, I'm going to do the raised landmass thing again. Let's kind of come back in here and make it look like a natural piece of land here. That little bumpy there. See, it's not hard. It's just you have to think about what you're doing just a little bit. Here. This looks a little. Yeah, just by like dabbing your tool around it a little bit will fix most of your issues. Again, once we start doing other stuff to this, again, this doesn't look like a great map right now, but it will eventually. Right, now we go to the water tool. Freshwater color. I'll go freshwater color to be blue. So you can change that and you can see as it comes in. The freshwater outline color we want to be the same issue with blue, so we want it to be a really light blue here. And we want this freshwater color to be a much brighter blue as well. Like that. And we change this coastline color. I want it to be a darker color. How do I want this to look? Down here in the black range, take it over here. I don't know, I like that dark. Make it look a little darker here. Take this more into the orange color. Just randomly dragging around. Maybe we give it the greenish tint. No, I think the brown is better. Where's our brown color? too much gold. It's too light. That seems good. Let me take this coastline color. Take it back up to the browns. Right there. This is another thing where you just gotta dork around with it forever and ever. You can also just eliminate it all, but I don't think that's any good. Let's use a color picker. Let's take this color here. Okay. This coastline color. Let's zoom in here. So we can do the uniform blend, uniform band, uniform outline, the three-tiered, the hatch, which I can't stand, the dash pattern, which is even worse. Uniform blend is probably better. This is doing nice. See, we can color this, but the problem becomes getting it the right shade. I can do this. Let's zoom in here. I don't care for that at all. I don't like the way that looks. Watercolor brush, not what I want. Freshwater brush. So that adds freshwater water appearance. Oh. Oh, that's a good color right there. I like that. That's the color I want. Alright. Now, water texture of Boro. Is that better? Regular, feudal, imagination, no. Paper, ick. Vintage, nope. Worn is where we started. I think the Boro is better. So then all we have to do is fiddle around with these colors down here. Get the freshwater color in line with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go freshwater color. I'm going to pick this. I'm going to choose this color here. Choose this color here. Freshwater color picker. That one. Ugh. Alright, that's fine. That's better, but why is that not? Let me just eliminate that altogether. There we go. That's what we're looking for right about. That's good. Alright. Okay, so there's the basis of it. And then what we can do is we can go over here to land and we can remove some of it by doing this, because I want to carve this section down a bit here. I'm going to use the raise with the roughness. Let's make the brush a little bit bigger and just do it this way. Right. Come around the corner here. Maybe let's put a couple. Like I said, it's not hard to change the shape or do any of that. If any of you have any ideas on anything else, all right, there, that looks a little better. Like I said, we're going to roughness a bit here. Okay, fill in and just wave it over a little bit here, try to make it look a little less trappy here. Try to smooth it out some. There we go. A little smoother through here. I like that. I also like leaving a lot of this stuff because it gives you good ideas for what you can and can't, what you should do, what you want to do. So, there's the island. Save it so we don't lose anything. And then we can put in regions if we'd like. Put in labels. But symbols is where we get our stuff. So first things first. We want to go to land and we want to color some land. So I always tell everybody start with a good dirt base. Depends on where you want to be at, right? So right here, I'll show you this farm tool. Okay, there's farm. There's more farm. Now you can bleed over colors. You can change the opacity. Throw in some ice like this. All that kind of stuff. I have a doggo here that would like some attention. But you can do all that kind of stuff. So we can just
That's a doggo.
back out of there. I like using this base, and then I like to start with what would this be volcanically if this was so what I like to start with is I like to start with a darker color overall. I like that rock. Let's see what's that look like. Oh yeah, that's a good dark color. The grass colors don't tend to mesh well, so I always like to start with a rock. You can start with total black, but I don't advise it unless you're making a portal to hell, which is where you would start. Sand is good around the outside edges, but I tend to bleed that in afterwards. I really do like this rock. I wonder if it's just dirt. Let's make this, I like making the brush bigger so I can see what it looks like. That's not bad. What's this rock look? That's going to be a tough one. So while I decide on this, I'm going to take a quick break, see what the dog needs, and we'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. All right, we're back. Puppy has been taken out. Please remember that this is September, and we would really appreciate your subs. I'm begging you, sub to the channel. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, sub if you can. Remember, if you have a Amazon Prime subscription, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription, which you can spend. We would appreciate if you spend it here. That'd be great. So now, we left off, we were coloring, and I think we've decided on the rock. So the other thing is I don't like to use the, so you can use this one to paint like lines and stuff, which is not really great. Big lines like that, hatches, dots. You get this fill here, which I don't really care for either. I tend to use the cloud one, only because I feel like it. You can do this, fill. So now all of our land is filled in with the color that we want to start with, and then we have to think of biomes. Which way is it facing? So this is north. As a matter of fact, we'll go here. We'll go to labels. Nope. Regions, symbols, path, land. Where was it? Water. Ah, compass. Color. For right now, we're going to make it white so we can see it. Like so. 16 directions like this. You can put it here. We can remove it later. These are cardinal directions. The line width, the inner radius, we're going to make 5. You can make a big noise. You can make it 100, which gives you the big circle there. The outer radius, you can make this 500. And just make a little star like this. It tells you that. You go back to 2048, which would do that. You can make your lines bigger, which is like, make it like line 10. Make big lines like this, so you see what you're doing. If you put it under here like this, it is going to be really hard to get rid of. However, it does give you a good reference point. You put the fade in and out. But what you can do is you can zero this out afterwards so it disappears. Because you can do it like this. You can change the color of it to nothing. And see, then you know. So there's our north, south, east, and west. I do that so I can keep track of what I'm doing. And then we're going to go up here to, now you can do this, do the border style, do this color, and draw a region, like so. And then you can change the color to red, and then draw another region, like so. Then we can go over here, pick a new color, like black, and do this one, like this. Now, I'm showing you this because this is how I set up a lot of my okay, this will do a lot more smoothing like that. We're going to take the smoothing to 0, which will make it kind of a goofy look. Make the borders bigger like this so you can give yourself a good line. When you're done like this, you just right click and it'll leave you that. I like doing so we start with the red, and everything that's going to be red is going to be a nice mountainy area. So what we do is we take this border down here. You really can see, and you can change the opacity. So, or you can go like this, in which case it makes it all the same color, which I think is unfortunate. So we're going to start putting in mountain ranges. The first thing I do is I follow my little things that I raised up here and run this one straight up into the water. There's one. And there's another one that runs this way. And then there's another one that comes in here like this. Runs through like this, it comes around, and then there. And then we put this one here to make the pass, like so. Back over here. Put ourselves this one like this one. Just one right like this. Almost to the water. And bring it back like this. Then we have the last one, which will encompass this section here, like so. So those are my mountain ranges. I could probably put one more in right here. It's a pretty big island, like that. Give this a little mountain area like so. There, and bring this one down like this. Here. Probably do a little one out here in the peninsula like this. And another one to section this off like so. Oh, nope. Let's get rid of that one. I want this one to come down like this and make like an arm and come around. If I can pass like that. So there's our mountainy areas. Then I'm going to switch to another color, which I use green, big bright green here. And then, actually, let's go to yellow. I use yellow for the plains and stuff. So what you do is you zoom in, and we're going to overlap some here. So you follow along this line here, and bring it out some into the plains. Gives you a good little area around it. Kind of follow the same shape as the mountains a little bit here. And then we're going to come back down the edge of the mountain here. And it's okay if you overlap this because these are just guidelines. These are all going to go away when we put in all the symbols. I just like to mark where I'm going to put them because it makes it easier for me. So you scroll out, that is all going to be plains. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one. Except this time I'm going to go down and around the line here. Oh, oh, screwed that up again. So I'll start right here. Come out this way. Like this. Swing out, make a bigger one here. With this open planes. Oh. Screwed that up. Oh, that's too far. Oh, redo. Redo. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, every now and then it'll get a little uppity. I know this is basically the same color for me. It's a red. And go back over here to the yellow. Just start over again here. This is not an exact science. It's also a little extra time consuming, but I feel it helps me map out what I want better. Again, this is not an exact science. And you don't have to put you don't have to put planes at the bottom of everything. However, if you're going to put planes in one area, it helps if they're connected. So you can do like this. Alright, then put planes area in a section like this. Alright, and then you can even select this one and delete it, and select this one and delete it. Then we're going to do a new one, because where I want is to take this, and you can move these points out of the way, or you can just delete that individual point. Oh. I want this one. You can move these points around like this individually. You move the whole thing around, or I can do that, in which case I'm going to draw a new line because I just want this interior to be planes. And just draw it in here like this. Like so. And we can add a little, we can extend this out a little bit here. Like this. Okay, that's better. Then we want to give a little I want to put this in the plains up here because I'm thinking that the way I want the winds to approach here is they're going to be coming from this direction. So they'll approach from. This is the other thing, is you have to think about how weather affects your land and how these mountains are going to do it. So if the wind comes in off of this way, the water will hit here. This will be dry. So yeah, this will be the dry space. Here, you'll get a little bit bounded here, a little bit, just a little. And then you'll get a little bit bounded inside of this spot here, and probably on this side here, where the you'll probably catch a little bit. This will all be, yep. Extend this out further here like this. Then this would be plains, but it's going to be more of a rainy section here. So we're going to go to our greens, and the first green I use is a nice dark green for the lush forests. It's really green. I want more of it. I'm going to take this green. And I use, this is the lush forest here. So the lush forest is going to encompass like all of this stuff in here. All of this. And come down to here and come back up here. All of this. Catch all of this here. Really lush forests along the coastline. You also have to remember there's going to be spots where there's going to be temperate areas. I'm going to come back up here like this. And these are going to come down here. Come back around, like so. And this side's, okay. That's going to be like that. And then this will all be lush. Up here. This will be as well. This way. And we'll lush. And we'll end up with some. Fix it up here. Lush forests. Then we'll only come up to here, and we'll bring it back down like so. And merge it here, like this. And this will be nice and lush, except for the fact that it'll run right into a temperate spot right here. Same with this. That'd be right along the coastline is fine. But what happens is you'll end up losing moisture and stuff from the rain as it comes through. I think that's good. Then we're going to go back to a dark green here. And this is going to be our temperate forests. It's going to be like inside this here, and back down around this, and around here. And there'll be overlap with your areas, of course, because nature doesn't have a, it's just like, oh look, it stopped. It's just like, oh yeah, there's some swampy stuff here. It's also, also have to remember that you're also going to have other landmarks in here. You're going to have other kind of terrain. Like right here. I'm going to undo this one because I think I'm going to put this forest right here, like so, out to the edge here. Keep it out like this, and I'm always bringing it a little more, so like that. We'll bring this one in, like this, on the corner here. And then what we'll do is we'll fill this one in here. Now, your two hardest points to make are deserts, which are hard to do, and what we're going to do here is we're going to take some more of this plains color here. It cleans it up a little bit more. We're going to add some more plains right here, I think, in this section. And we're going to toss a mini desert. We're going to put a mini desert here and a desert here. So with the deserts, a good orange color is good for that. Stands out well. So this is going to be a deserted area. We'll figure out the exact size here, and we're going to desert out this section here. Maybe even extend it into the mountain a little bit, like on this one. And dark green goes here, in this temperate zone right there. And I think we'll put in another, which I think we'll put in a little bit more grassland there. More prairie, as it were. Into this spot here. There. So now we have safe. So now we have our region set up, and we can head over here and we can go like this. We can go find mountains. We can put the mountains in layers. But what I'm going to do is check this out and check out the scale. That's the biggest you can make it. The biggest you can make that. The biggest you can make that. The biggest you can make this. That's really big. That's also quite nice size. You can make that all the way up there. No. We're going to put these on the default layer, which means they go straight down on the map. Now, what I have to do is I have to do this. I need to zoom in here. And I know these are going to be mountains. But what I also know is that for the characters to know is that there are um, do this. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to copy this. Because we want to give the impression that they're surrounded in this loop, which they are. So, now we start placing our mountains, which let's go to this one. Okay, so search. Oh, we're going to go down here to Cliffs Sandy. And get some beaches going on here. Now, as you probably know, that's really, really big. And we can rotate it, rotate through them like this. And showing that rotates like that. That zooms in. And the two keys, the less than and equal sign, will rotate them. So if you take them all the way down just like this, and you go blink, then you have cliffs. We're not going to do that. I'm just showing you how that a bunch of symbols here. What I need is a caldera. I need a empty caldera. I need to make this zoom out here. I need to make this as big as I can. See? That's beautiful. Rotate it to just right. So, do a fence. I'm going to mirror it. Rotate it a little bit like this. And set it down. Right there. So there's our caldera, which is what I want. Now, come out of the caldera. And then we head to the cliffs. This way. Since I'm working on this, what I go to is I'll go to regions. I'll select this region and I'll delete it. And we go back to symbols. Back again. Now, I can add clips and stuff in here. Make it look like this. But I'm not going to do that. What I want is I want boulders. See, and they're paintable, which means whatever you paint the bottom, paint the top.
Did you hear him knocking?
Yes, I did.
You want him in here?
That's fine. He can come in.
Yeah.
Lots and more.
Yeah.
See, we can put in waterfalls, like so. We just add a big ass rock here for no
It's happy
purpose,
to
for no
see
reason.
you now. Doggy cam.
Paintable houses, which we can just do whatever we want with, but that's just so big we don't need any of this stuff. Stone walls, you just slap them down there and color them later. Textured icons, which I like. I think that was a good one. What you want, buddy? Huh? What you doing? Big D wants to play, but we're a little busy, Big D. Nope, no play. Come on, buddy. I gotta get to work. Okay? I love you too, but Daddy's gotta work. Okay? Let's see. So you can make the scroll in. You can make the side of the caldera look different with these. You can put a big. This one. Scale this one down some. I bet you we can turn it to make it look right. Oh yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But I think we need to actually let's take this custom color and make it look like that. The problem is some things that you have don't look the same with other things that you have. Like I can just put in this, bam, it's all line, right? And put it in here, put it in this one, like so, right? But turn it 180 degrees, shrink it down some, and put it there. Still doesn't help, but it's close. You see, that's colorless, which is fine, except for the fact that you can't see it. So, I like these. These ravines are always good. You just throw down a ravine in the middle of nowhere. I like the look of them. And then you can do this across your map. That's a good one. Like that one. Yeah, that looks good. Um, so what we'll do now is we go to the mountains. And now we add mountain range for a mountain range. And we just check to see how it works here. Sprinkle it out. Take it here. Those are better for deserts. Nope, I don't like the way that one looks. Those I use for the small ones. Or this guy. Nope. Nope. I think it's this one. No, they don't look like no. Like this guy here. Wall like that. No, they're ugly as hell. Yeah, I like this. It's fine. So what you do is you just kind of drizzle them in there like so. Like that. Then what we'll do is we'll put in, take this, and throw these in there like that. And let's go there. Let's put it there. That looks good. And then we take these mountains, fill this in a little bit, like so. And change the size of it too. So we'll run these out like this, on this side around the corner here. Give that same kind of natural look. And see, you can color over the caldera a little bit here. See? We're not going to, but you could. Just give it that flavor that it is. An empty caldera. And then it never hurts to throw in some really small looking. Nope. Let me zoom in here. So that's not helping. Doesn't help at all. There we go. And we can scale this up a little bit here. And put the volcano down in the middle. Oh, I like that one. Which one is it? Not that one, I think. Let's see, because then you can do smaller ones like one right here. Put another one right here on the edge. Nope, that didn't show up. Down there. Yeah. and toss one there. And then we go back over here and go to overlays, and then we pick this one, and we make it super big, like this. See, this is where you have to zoom in some. Just finding the right angle to put it in, and then you go like so. Nope. Nope. Put it at +1. Like that. Take this one. See? There we go. Look at that. So good. And this one goes this. And this one goes. So it gets turned like this. So it gets further into the one. But Bob. It's not this one. This is as big as it gets. Oh, sorry about that. Ignore that. I think I'm on silent for a while. Alright, you know what? We're going to leave this caldera empty. I'm going to go down to this one. And we're going to put that on there. Nope. Where to put that other one over here? This one? Goofball. Now I'm going each other. We got 2 active volcanoes over here. That's good. They're not active, but they're close enough. Alright, so let's go back to our thing and put in some hills. See, he's got little trees on them and everything. Gotta fill in the blanks here. Oh. That's what I did. I left them on the wrong layer. Remove the fall layer so they blend in. It's okay to leave some space, but a lot of times your mountains, as it were, need a little help looking realistic, as it were. So you want to bring down the size and just kind of toss some in there like this. just like putting smaller ones around the outside here, the edge. Let's go back to this one. So you can. It's too much. What you want is to shrink this placement for 50. And put this density right at 75. And just drag it back and forth a little bit. Change some mountain type over here. Just run this all the way out. Pressure Hills will do this. Oh, too big. Come down here. Still too big. There's my rolling hills. There they are. These are over there. Then you kind of do this, you kind of fill in some spots here with these little nubs. If anything ever looks too, oh, well, you want to be huge, don't you? Yeah, I don't think so. You can throw in one of these. You can throw it in with this a little bit if you want. I have these little nubs here. We can just run out in the grasslands a bit here. Kind of makes it look, bring out that rolling hill look a little bit. And paint it over a little bit. Plus, it gives the impression that everything didn't just fall right out of the sky. It actually had a purpose to it. And then we can go in here and put this big mesa in here like this. No, that's too big. Let's bring this. No, you know what? We'll just keep these in. So first, I want the big mountains. Where's my big mountain? Okay. I'm going to roll through here like this. We're going to roll through here. Through here. This guy goes there. This goes like this. Turn these. And just make yourself a little mountain pass through here. Give people a place to live. And then it bigger here like this. Here's that wind cut like here. I don't like those. What, volcanoes? No, we don't need volcanoes. Go a little bit here. Put these nice jagged peaks in here for this one. Maybe throw in a really big one. Right there. Like so. Give them that look there, and then toss in a few round ones. Kind of hide that peak there. Put that in there. And drop that in there like this. This is where. Throw right in that one right there. Nope. I'm going to come over here to this other section here. See, I don't like the look of those. We'll go back to these. Set your base there and then put these in and kind of got a big spike there. Maybe give me so this one. Like so. There we go. We're going to take some of these littler hills here. And then some. Nope. Don't like the way that looks. That's the other thing, is you just got to find out what looks right to you and what doesn't. Because a lot of this is just guesswork, really, guys. Like, it is not. Now we have this huge mountain range here, which we're going to start with this line here, and then a line that runs this way, and a line that runs this way, and take it around the edge, take this around the edge through here like this. And we're going to switch to our other nice rock. We're going to increase the placement density here a little bit, so we can fill it in pretty good. We're going to shrink the size down some. Come back through some more. Tinier versions of the same thing. Then leave an open space like that. And run these down through here. And grab our small little hill things here. Run these down around the corner here. Run these around that little edge. And to give it a look like it broke free. Bring it down here. Give us some running into this one. Bring this down over here to the river, down over this way. Bring this down like this. Bring this one out over here. There. Give us some more. This down the rate. Do some of those. I'm just gonna You even get these little tiny ones in here. That's fine. So, grassy knolls. Weed that through like this. Over here. This is not really a mountain range per se. We're going to use the short, stubby ones. It's too close together. Still too close together. Mountainous hills. Toss in some more of these little guys. Yes. Deal. Too many Christmas. You scare me. 1 second, everyone. The dog is losing his mind. Sorry about that, everyone. Now, Diesel, scoot over, bud. Got to get my chair in here. All right. So, there's our mountains. Let's get over here to this range real quick. We want to pile in over here a little bit. Get these little swallows. Yeah, this is not hard. Again, not hard. There's no good, like I say, there's no good technique. This is, all you're seeing is how I do it. And if this makes sense to you, go ahead and use it. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't. Like I said, this is just a layman's way of figuring it out. Just let the randomness, because a lot of times I think people have a thing where they don't believe that it's fine just to randomly put stuff out here. Like, yes, I planned where a bunch of my stuff went, but that's not the point. What I did was I just planned where I wanted it, and this is randomly just adding stuff in here, right? Some big stupid things. I'm going to do this. Yep, see, those are not good either. This one. Make it a little bigger. See, fill in the spots here. You also remember, because mountains don't take up every single space where they are, right? And you also have to remember that they kind of jag it off and keep adding this little bit of flavor here makes your map look so much better. By running this, running these out a little bit off the edges here, around the side, right back down here like this a little bit, running over here, take it out like this. Don't be afraid to just throw some random hills out in the middle of nowhere for no apparent reason whatsoever. It won't kill anybody, I promise. I mean, it might kill your players eventually if they end up in the wrong spot, but like, now it's going to taper off a little bit like that. So giving them a good spot to do so is good. So now we're going to go back over here to regions. I'm going to select this red region here and delete it because it's done. This red region here and delete it because it's done. This one's done. This one's done. Woo. This one's done. 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 And so is this one. So now there we have our rock formations. Again, we can go back and color these as well. So this is just your basic, where am I putting crap? Right? Now we're going to go to symbols again, go to trees. Now, this is a tough one. Depends on the trees you have, depends on what you have. I like using this one for my brush here. Make the symbol scale a little bigger here, then I just kind of run it through. Your players will get the hint. You don't have to color it completely in, but once you color it the right color for your stuff, it'll make a lot more sense. So this is all I do for here. Yes, I just use this little black one. You can change it up and add some of this in here too, give it a little bit more I also use this one. Not in this one. I think this is the best one here. And we remember we have some overlap here, so we'll overlap into this. This is going to be our desert, so we'll take out that. So we're going to push across over here. Bring this around here. Bring this around over here. Remember, there's no wrong way to do this. Not really. I believe that as long as your map looks like a map, as it were, I think it's fine. This is more of a swamp thing going on here. I'll take that one out. Oh, those are big. Look at those. Really? That's crazy. I don't want that. I don't like that either. Now we'll just stick with these. Make them big. Make them smaller. As long as your map gets the point across of what you want it to do, I think it's fine. Take this into here. Make these a little bigger. Go like this. In here. Put some of this in there. All this long, so it's the same. And I just need some more in through here. I'll pick up the placement right a little bit here. A little bit more density. Make it feel a little better. Yep, see? And I think it's about all of our plains areas. we got done. So we'll go back over here to regions, select the regions, and select this one to get rid of it. 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 Did I get enough in here to make it feel right? I don't think so. Well, it'll be fine. That's an overlay. Alright, so that's all we're doing right now. Now we want temperate forests. Now you can use any kind of tree that you want. I like using the ones that are colored. I prefer to use this for the. Let's zoom in here. I prefer to use this. Is that the white one? That's the white one. That's a Christmas tree. I prefer to use pine with other ones. In that's too much, too close. So we'll go down the density here. Still too much. Get the placement right. Remember, these are all just groves of trees. And you can go through and toss in these trees here. Just, see, that's still too much for me. Take this down to about 35 and take this down to about 40. Because what you want is a good mix of trees. You want them to look semi-homogeneous, like this. That's a much better one. I think we'll do that one. Erase. Erase all of that. Back to tree. Here we go. That's a good forest. I like that. I like this forest. And just doodle. That's all you got to do is doodle. And take this one. I'm going to doodle some more. Do the smaller plants. Make it feel like it's lived in. Some bigger trees. Go in here like so. And we're going to go here and we are going to erase the crap out of these. Add to the Google. Undo. Okay. Just the trees. Just erase trees. Thank you. Now the cool thing about these is these are colored. So what we can do is we can make these a little bigger. Right? Just put this tree here, this tree here, this tree here, this tree here. And we go to this one. We go make it a little bigger and go this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And tighten them up. Where this one seems a little bit more open. And here, just going to be able to use, right here, shrink these down all the way. Yep, nope. 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 Tree cluster. Yeah, that's a tree cluster, all right. Tree cluster 3, tree cluster 4. Nope. Nope. Don't like that. So what we'll do here is let's add some of these in there too. Nah, don't like that style. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to zoom in. We're just going to pop in a tree or two here. Doesn't need to be a lot. Just needs to give the impression of being trees. What we're going to do here. Alright. Same goes along this coast. We're going to grab this tree here and we're going to do this along the coast here. Nope, not in the water. Fill this in a little bit here. What are we saying? Yeah. Bring this down like this. And just kind of. Placement range and density like this. Which is where you get a good color. Just kind of boop, 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 boop. Instead of just be might shrink it. And if it's done like this, don't go in the water. Don't go in the water. Ah, I cannot get this right. Autosave. All right. Looks like we're done with all of those. Delete, 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 delete. We have officially put down the things that we want to put down for right now. I'm going to zoom out, take a look at our map, save it just to be on the safe side, and then we go to coloring. But before we do that, I have some things I have to do offline. And we'll be back again later this evening to do the color and see how we're going to do that. Like I said, this is all just preliminary. Again, it's all one coat. It's all the base brown. We're going to go in and do a lot of things here. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you everybody who watched. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can find out whenever I put up a new video. And don't forget to share them with your friends. If you like them, they might like them too. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You can subscribe using your Amazon Prime. If you have that, you have a free Twitch subscription. Please use that. Remember, this is September So please sub as much as you possibly can within your limits. Also, if you want to, you can donate directly to the stream by visiting the donations button down below, or you can visit us at Patreon or patreon.com. There will be new stuff going up this weekend and more stuff going into our merch store. Our merch store will be open next week. And don't forget to donate to Extra Life. And I'd like to thank my sponsor, Comic Book World at comicbookworld.com. They ship everywhere in the continental United States. If your order is big enough, or you tell me that you live in a different part of the multiverse and need an order, we can work that out and see how that works. Please always remember to take care of your local gaming store, and take care of your local role players, and take care of yourself and your own mental health. If you have any issues with your mental health, please call someone. There are plenty of hotlines. Or if you see me online on Discord, visit us at the Discord. You can visit us at Twitch. You can visit us at Twitter, Instagram. Do not be afraid to give us a holler. All right? We'll take care of you. We promise. This has been the Loophole King signing off for this session here on the Dark Side of the Moon in the Blue Cheese Room. Have a good one. Stay safe. Hey, what are you doing? Knocking over my crap again.